Hey, paper highlighter fans! Today, we've got an explosive update for you about Brian Muniz, one of the most controversial cast members from 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. If you've been following Brian's journey, you know things between him and his girlfriend Ingrid were far from smooth. But hold on tight because there's a lot more to the story than meets the eye. In this video, we're diving deep into Brian's shocking secrets, including the bombshell revelation that he's still married. Plus, we'll reveal everything you need to know about his ex-wife and how it could completely change the future of his relationship with Ingrid. How did Brian meet Ingrid? After sustaining an injury, Brian felt as though he had been given a second chance at life. Determined to stay active while adjusting to his wheelchair, he discovered wheelchair rugby, which quickly became his passion. Over the next 4 years, Brian competed internationally, earning a spot on the USA team. His athletic journey took him to 10 different countries, including India, Argentina, Denmark, and Switzerland. During a trip to Brazil, Brian fell in love with the country. He spent several years playing there and eventually transitioned into coaching, becoming fluent in Portuguese along the way. Brian found that dating in Brazil was far easier than in the US. In his experience, American women often viewed men in wheelchairs as a last resort. However, in Brazil, he noticed a more open and accepting attitude toward disability. It was there that Brian met Ingrid, a 32-year-old woman with whom he had been talking for over 2 years. They connected instantly, chatting daily and quickly forming a strong bond. Brian was drawn to Ingrid's sense of humor, caring nature, and beauty. He also admired her blonde hair and curvy figure. Brian's been married 4 times. Brian shared that he had been through several relationships in Brazil, including some painful breakups and a failed marriage. These experiences left him questioning whether true love was ever in the cards for him. But when he met Ingrid, things felt different. He began to wonder if his past choices had been wrong, as his connection with Ingrid seemed totally different. Brian admitted that there was definitely a chance Ingrid could be the one, and he expressed his hope, saying, "I want her to be the one." He couldn't imagine life without her. However, there were still things Brian hadn't revealed to Ingrid. Although she knew he was in a wheelchair, he hadn't discussed the details of his daily routine, from personal care in the mornings to intimate matters. Additionally, it seemed Brian hadn't told Ingrid that he had been married 4 times before. His relationship history was pretty tumultuous, with 3 of his previous wives being American and 1 Brazilian. This wasn't his first time seeking love in Brazil. Brian's in a wheelchair allegedly because of his second wife. At the age of 27, Brian's life changed forever when he was shot with a small caliber handgun, leaving him paraplegic after the bullet hit his spine. He vividly recalled the day he came home to find 2 men waiting for him. One of them crossed the street and approached Brian's car, demanding that he get out while revealing he had a gun. Realizing it was a carjacking, Brian initially thought he could overpower the man and escape the situation. At the time, Brian was involved in selling and using drugs, a lifestyle that led him to meet his second ex-wife. Brian did not tell Ingrid about how he became quadriplegic. Brian's family disapproved of his involvement in drug dealing, but he found it hard to walk away due to the large sums of money he was making. Eventually, Brian took a hard look at himself in the mirror and realized he looked like a zombie. Wanting to turn his life around, he told his second ex-wife that he no longer loved her. It was then that she made a shocking confession. She had orchestrated the carjacking that left him in a wheelchair. Brian had never told Ingrid about this incident. She believed his paralysis was the result of an accident. Ingrid was also concerned about Brian's past. Knowing he had once lived in a world surrounded by criminals, Brian lied to Ingrid about his age. Ingrid had never been involved with drugs and strongly disapproved of that lifestyle. Brian, however, had kept her in the dark about this significant part of his past. When the truth came out, Ingrid was shocked and admitted she also felt scared. Growing up, she had always been warned to avoid drug addicts. Adding to her sense of betrayal, Ingrid felt deceived about Brian's age. She was certain he had told her he was 42 when they first met, which would make him 45 now, 2 years later. However, Brian insisted he was actually 51, claiming it must have been a miscommunication. Brian is still married to his 4th wife, Fiancé. It seems Brian hasn't told Ingrid that he is still married to his 4th wife. In September 2024, 90 Day Fiancé blogger Mary Pants revealed that Brian is married, but not to Ingrid. They shared a photo of a woman named Fiancé, referring to her as Brian's current wife. According to the source, Brian and Francielle have maintained a long-distance relationship since 2017 and got engaged in 2019. The couple tied the knot in 2022 but ran into problems after moving in together in Brazil, possibly due to Brian's unfaithfulness. There have been reports suggesting that Brian may have been involved with other women. Brian was reportedly unfaithful to Francielle after their marriage, and their divorce proceedings have been ongoing since the summer of 2023. It's unclear when filming for 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 Days Season 7 took place, but it could have been after their separation began. In the meantime, Brian has been accused of attempting to hide his assets by transferring ownership of his car and home to others, allegedly to avoid splitting them 50-50 with Francielle in the divorce. Many believe Brian has no place on the show or in Ingrid's life, given these actions. Brian and Francielle's YouTube channel together still exists. Brian attempted to gain fame by showcasing his unique relationship through a YouTube channel he created with Francielle. The channel, titled Brian and Francielle, features 8 videos and has amassed over 125 subscribers. The channel's bio reads, "Have you ever thought of leaving your country to live and study in the name of love?" As the couple invites fans to follow their journey and learn the story of a Brazilian woman and an American quadriplegic rugby athlete building a life together. However, the 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 Days star's last video was posted 5 years ago.